Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening to all of you. Hope all of you can hear me. And
Yes, sir.
in the today is a very special day for two reasons. One, tomorrow you don't have classes because of the Sinhala Tamil New Year, and that is one thing I want to inform you. Due to Sinhala Tamil New Year, tomorrow is the real festival. Due to that reason, tomorrow no classes. You can enjoy. And the other thing it is Ramadan. Today onward, Ramadan starts. Today onwards, Ramadan starts tomorrow, the first fasting day. I got certain messages asking to change the class time, and that is not an easy thing, changing the class time. There was a possibility if it falls to a school holiday time, but you know that one, you are not given longer holidays. That is one side better. Schools don't give longer holidays because recently, day before yesterday, even yesterday, I got to know regarding the third wave of corona. Third wave of corona in India. So it's not sure because in Sri Lanka mostly follows India. So in corona also, Sri Lanka will follow India. I hope so. Understood? In corona also, Sri Lanka will follow India because they are following everything from India. So this also they will follow from India. Due to that reason, anytime schools can be closed, anytime an area can be locked down. All these possibilities are there. Okay. So if they give holidays now, if they wanted to close the schools at once, the children will be in a bigger trouble. You know what happened last year. In your educational life, 1 year totally erased. That is the truth. In your educational life, 1 year has been totally erased. Okay, through classes and that and this somewhat we managed. Okay, but real learning is lost. So time changes are not possible. Only one thing, I can do them some favor personally. That's all I can do them, that I have informed them. Okay. And second thing, it is due to this corona. Sorry, that's not corona. The Sinhala Tamil Aurudu. Because last year they didn't celebrate the Sinhala Tamil Aurudu due to corona. So this year is relatively a grand celebration. Okay. So this grand celebration started in post office also. Post office has been closed 2 days earlier. So Sunday holiday, Monday holiday, Tuesday holiday, full stretch. Friday to Friday one was holiday. No way to make the post. I took it and went one day by day to post the things. Could not. Everything has been printed. Everything is ready, but no way to make you reach. So the post office will not come to work quickly. Most probably 15 or 16 only they will come to normal. When they come to normal, you will get the tubes after 1 or 2 days from there. That means nearly coming week, coming class, you will get. I have really placed 3 units, unit 6, unit 7, unit 8. All the tubes are bundled together. Now the problem is Sinhala Tamil celebrations. That is okay. That's why immediately I decided to send. I generally don't send soft copies. You know that one. I generally don't send soft copies now. Okay, I am the total in charge of the tubes. But this time it made me to do due to these issues. Right? How many of you got the printouts?
Sir, me.
Me, sir.
Make the hand mark, then I can make the hand mark, then I can understand how many of you have the tubes. I know that one that all of you will not get the tubes. But today I have to move with the lesson. Today, without waiting, I have to move with the lesson, my children. Okay, that's why I sent you the material at least to take a printout of your form. And I'm always recommending you kids better. Nowadays, our facilities are more, not like those days. We can get a printer. From the phone, we can print out it. Do you know that one?
I don't understand that. What is it?
From the phone, directly you can take the printout.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
That much we have improved in the technology. So no need a computer. Phone to printer.
Printer.
Problem solved. Okay. So today officially we are going to work on the unit number 6. Last class I gave you a complete discussion on unit number 6, heart dissection. I showed you terms. I introduced you. From that point, we are working. From that place, we are going to continue. Okay. let us start with the words. Those the people who have not got their printouts, okay, the people who have not got their printouts, at least write the answers when I am giving. Now, last class I spent 2 hours trying to discuss this content with you. Okay, my first question here is, how many chambers are present in the heart? How many chambers are present?
4 chambers.
4 chambers. So you are writing 4 here. That's all. First question, answer is over. Okay. How many chambers? 4 chambers. My second question to you is, what are those chambers? 4 chambers, no? I have left 4 lines there. That is
atrium, left
left
atrium,
Left atrium, right atrium, left ventricle, right ventricle.
right atrium,
Left
left
atrium,
ventricle,
Left ventricle,
right.
left ventricle,
Left
right
atrium, left
Quickly,
atrium,
quickly complete the
ventricle.
answering. Those who have not got the printouts, at least take the textbook in the hands.
Done, sir.
If you don't have the printouts, at least get the textbooks in the hands. Question number 3 is, what is the valve in human heart located between left atrium and left ventricle?
Sir,
bicuspid valve,
Bicuspid valve.
Bicuspid valve. What is the other name of bicuspid valve?
mitral valve,
mitral valve.
mitral valve.
Mitral valve. Complete. Similarly, what is the valve in human heart located between atrium and right ventricle?
Bicuspid
Bicuspid valve.
bicuspid valve,
Tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve. If you have completed answering, we can go to the next.
done, sir.
Done, sir.
Complete.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Who don't have the tubes also, put the question number and write the answer and keep ready. Soon you get the tubes, you can place the answers. If nothing done, it will be a loss for you. Hope you understood it. Okay. Not having tube should not be an excuse there. In which chamber arteries originate? What are the arteries connected to the heart?
Aorta, pulmonary artery.
Aorta, pulmonary artery. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, Aorta starts in which chamber?
Left ventricle.
Left ventricle.
Left ventricle.
Pulmonary artery starts in which chamber?
Right ventricle.
So,
Right ventricle.
you can say in which chambers arteries originate, mean we can commonly say the width.
Ventricles.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Right.
Answer.
The artery originates from the right ventricle.
Pulmonary artery.
Pulmonary artery.
Pulmonary artery. What is the artery that originates from the left ventricle?
Aorta.
Aorta. Aorta is an artery. Right. Question number 8 is easy. Look at the diagram and tell me what kind of blood is present in the left side of the heart? What is the color of blood marked in the left side of the heart?
Sir, is it oxygenated blood which is red?
Deoxygenated blood.
That is the one questioning. What kind of blood is present in the left side of the heart?
Deoxygenated blood.
Deoxygenated.
I told you to see right and left this way, no?
Oxygenated blood?
Eh? You forgot. I told you to mark right and left this way, no?
Yes, sir.
Check, will you? Left side, what color blood is there? Left side, what color blood is there?
Color. Left side there are oxygenated blood.
Red or blue?
Red.
Red.
Red means
Oxygenated.
Oxygenated blood.
blood.
Red color.
Don't confuse with the side. Okay. So what kind of blood is present in the left side of the heart? It is oxygenated blood. What kind of blood is present in the right side of the heart? That is what color?
Deoxygenated.
Deoxygenated blood.
Oxygenated blood. What are the valves present at the starting point of aorta? In the place where the aorta starts, what are the valves present?
Bicuspid valve?
And
Semiluna valve.
semilunar.
Semiluna valve.
When you are writing, you have to write it this way. For that only you will get marks.
Okay, sir.
Semilunar valves. How do you write it?
Semilunar valve.
Valve. That is your syllabus. If you write that way only, you will get the marks.
Answer.
Okay. Completed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone? Is there anyone writing? If any one of you is writing, tell me. I don't know. No. Is there anyone writing? No. Your side also, Ratigna is Pupranava.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. What are the valves present at the starting point of pulmonary artery?
Pulmonary
Pulmonary semilunar valve.
Pulmonary semilunar
Valves. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Right. What are the veins connected to the right atrium?
Superior vena cava.
Superior vena cava. Superior vena cava.
Okay. Keun cava, butt cava. This is vena cava. In inferior vena cava. Okay. They are connected to the right atrium. Veins connected to the left atrium.
Left and
Left
right pulmonary vein.
Pulmonary semilunar. Pulmonary semilunar valve.
Pulmonary veins. What kind of blood is present in the superior vena cava?
Deoxygenated
Deoxygenated blood.
Deoxygenated blood.
Deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. What about inferior vena cava?
Deoxygenated blood.
Deoxygenated blood.
Deoxygenated blood. What about pulmonary veins?
Oxygenated blood.
Deoxygenated blood.
Deoxygenated blood.
So what kind of blood?
Oxygenated blood.
Oxygenated.
Sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have everyone completed the writing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone still writing?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Coming to arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries. What are arteries? Arteries are blood vessels carry
Blood away from the
away from heart. Who are arteries? Blood vessel. This blood can be either oxygenated or deoxygenated. That is not a matter for us. Blood is going out of the heart. That is arteries. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
What are veins? Veins are blood vessels that carry blood towards heart. They are carrying blood vessel, they are carrying blood towards heart. Because they are carrying blood towards heart, they are
Veins.
veins.
Done, sir.
Clear?
Done, sir.
Yes, sir.
Done, sir.
What is the function of pulmonary artery? Pulmonary artery is carrying blood.
Blood.
The blood is carried by pulmonary artery.
The blood.
What kind of blood?
Deoxygenated blood.
Deoxygenated blood. From where to where it is carrying the blood? Carrying deoxygen
Heart to lung.
from
Heart to lungs.
heart to lung.
Heart to
So you can see right ventricle of heart to lung. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right. From where to where blood moves in the pulmonary artery?
From lungs.
From
pulmonary arteries.
no, in pulmonary artery, blood is going from where to where?
Heart to lungs.
From heart to lungs.
Heart to lungs.
Of the heart to lungs.
Right ventricle to the heart for the right ventricle to the
Ventricle
brain.
of the
Lungs.
heart, correct? To lungs. Right. What is the function of aorta?
Blood to the
supplying blood to the other parts of the body.
Carrying what kind of blood?
Oxygenated blood.
Blood from which ventricle of the heart?
Right?
Right ventricle to left.
Right ventricle.
Right ventricle.
Aorta is taking blood from which ventricle?
Right ventricle.
Right ventricle.
Ventricle.
You are telling that one without referring.
So left ventricle.
Always be careful in answering. From which ventricle? Check your diagram. Aorta begins in which ventricle?
Left ventricle.
Left ventricle.
Ventricle. Okay, suddenly when one person shouted right ventricle, okay, then every people started to shout right ventricle. Okay, that is a foolish behavior. When one person says no, is that mean it's no? Huh?
No, sir.
If one person comes and say I am a me faraka, you also will say I am a me faraka. So carrying oxygenated blood from right ventricle to entire body. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. What is the name given to the branches of aorta?
Artery.
Okay. Have you completed this one?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
First finish these three.
Done, sir.
Right. Going to question number 6. Okay, what is the name given to the branches of aorta? They are called
Capillaries.
artery.
Artery.
Tell me the order of branching.
Sir, can repeat that one.
Tell me the order of branching according to this diagram.
From first
Main
artery.
main aorta is dividing to main artery. Main arteries are dividing to arteries. Arteries are dividing to arterioles. Arterioles are dividing to capillaries. Capillaries are, now see I'm changing the word, joining to venules. Venules are joining to veins.
Veins.
Veins are joining to main vein.
Main vein.
Main veins.
We are using the word main vein here now. Main artery is the aorta. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Main veins are the vena cava.
Vena.
Okay, there's no another thing called main vein. Main veins are whole.
Vena cava.
Vena cava.
So now tell me the order. Aorta, all the main arteries divide into
Arteries.
Arteriole.
is divide into
Capillaries.
Capillary.
Capillaries.
Capillaries.
Arterioles.
arteriole.
Arterioles.
Arterioles divided into
Capillaries.
Capillaries.
capillaries joined to
Venules.
into
Veins.
veins joined to
Main
Vena cava.
or the main vein. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mark these two near to the main arteries and main veins.
Okay, sir.
Done, sir.
Sir.
Answer.
Okay, now my question it is, okay, what is the name given to the branches of aorta?
Arteries. Arteries.
Artery. What are the branches called?
Artery.
Arteries.
Main arteries.
No, main artery is the name representing whom?
Aorta.
Aorta.
Artery is the name representing aorta. So you should not tell aorta branches to main artery. Aorta is the main artery that branches to arteries. Correct. From that one, what is the name given to the branches of arteries? Branch
Arteriole.
arteries, how
Arteriole.
called?
Arteriole.
Arteriole.
Arteriole. What is the name given to the branches of arterioles?
Capillaries.
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 How venules are formed?
Capillaries.
Capillaries.
Join together. Joining of the capillaries.
High capillaries join together.
That is it.
Capillaries.
Joining of capillaries. That is enough. If you write that portion, that is enough. Joining of capillaries. How venules are formed? Joining of capillaries.
Joining of capillaries.
Okay.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Structure produced by joining of venules. When
Veins.
venules join, what is made?
Veins.
Veins made. Vein made. Okay.
Done, sir.
Yes, sir.
Carefully referring the picture, tell me the answer to the 11th one. From where to where veins carry blood?
From lungs to heart.
From
Lungs to heart.
Lungs to
from lungs to which part of the heart?
right ventricle.
Right? Do you know right leg?
Right.
Why ullarrai summa? Who told the right ventricle? Neka moda baba vela kaya gahana. If you don't, I told you, will refer and answer. Don't answer me foolishly. From where to where it carries the blood?
Lungs to left atrium.
Lungs to heart.
Which part of the heart, Akib? Which part of the heart? Akib, which part of the heart? You are the one tell lung to heart now. Which part of the heart, Akib?
Sir, I'm not told, sir. I'm not the one who told.
You are not Akib. You are Akil.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I will call you Akil Sultan. This is Akib Ikram. Tell me carefully where to where. No, Akib, you are right, but not exact. Akib, can you hear me, Akib? Akib, speak with me.
Yes, sir.
What you told is right, Akib. But I am asking the correct place of the heart now. You are just telling heart. How about the others? From lungs to which part of the heart pulmonary veins bring blood?
Left atrium.
Left side.
Atrium.
Left?
Atrium.
Atrium.
Left atrium.
Already Nuha Fayaz told you his answer. Nuha Fayaz told his answer. Okay? Remember, you should not depend on another person's answer. Okay? If that happens, okay, your respect is lower than a beggar. Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you depend on another person, okay, Nuha Fayaz, even I, without considering her answer, I was repeating this question. I also can take that answer. Okay, Nuha Fayaz told no. I will take that answer right and go. Without doing so, I am expecting other people to answer. So when you are answering, late answer is not wrong. Some people answer without any sense. Okay, just coming, right ventricle, left ventricle, okay, everything is coming. I'm careful, I'm telling, refer the picture and tell me. Refer the picture and tell me, that's what I told. What kind of blood is carried by pulmonary veins?
Oxygenated blood.
Oxygenated blood.
Oxygenated. In which chamber of heart? Cut that H. In which chamber of heart pulmonary veins open? Pulmonary veins are opening in which chamber of the heart?
Atrium.
Left.
Left.
ventricle.
Left.
Atrium.
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 Left atrium.
Right. How superior vena cava is formed? By the, okay,
Joining of veins.
of arteries from upper part of the body to this upper part of the body. Who are the components coming? Head is coming, neck is coming, hands are coming.
Shoulder.
Hands mean everything together, man.
Okay, sir.
Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Answer it, answer it.
Done, sir. Done, sir.
No, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Hmm.
No, sir. Done, sir.
Have everyone completed it?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Now coming to question number 15, 16, 17 and 18. How inferior vena cava is formed? By
Arrange below the body.
of veins. Last time I used veins or arteries.
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 Artery.
Wrong now. How superior vena cava formed?
By the joining.
By joining of
By joining of arteries.
Meaning of not arteries, Baba. Correct it.
Two veins.
joining of veins above the body. Okay, sir.
Done, sir.
Let's write this one. How inferior vena cava formed? By
The joining of the artery.
veins from
Lower part.
lower part of the body.
Done, sir.
In which chamber of heart both superior and inferior vena cava open?
Is it right and atrium?
No need to confuse. You confirmly tell that.
Right atrium.
Right atrium. Nuhapayas, you are silent now. You can answer, ma. Okay. Nuhapayas, are you there? Nuhapayas.
Yeah.
You can answer, eh?
Okay, sir.
Don't think that I didn't consider your answer. I really admired your answer. But I have to keep silent until other people come to the same decision, Baba. Understood? If I tell that one is right without thinking anything, other ones will be coming to the decision. That's why Sir Little kept silent. But don't take that one serious. In which chamber of the heart both superior vena cava and inferior vena cava open?
Right atrium.
Right atrium.
Right atrium.
Atrium. Complete it.
Done, sir.
Completed, sir.
Done, sir. Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Have everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone still writing?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Lina Fazil, are you writing?
No, sir.
Okay. Right. What is the reason of arterial blood having high pressure? Artery, blood in the arteries have high pressure because blood is, okay, directly pumped by heart into what is it?
Artery.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay. What are the adaptations in arteries to withstand high pressure? My children, there are two adaptations. Both the adaptations are belonging to artery wall. Artery wall is thick. Do you know artery wall is thick?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Same time, artery wall is elastic. These two are the adaptations that need arteries to withstand high blood pressure. If they don't withstand it, they will blast.
But why do they need elastic?
Now, when the pressure increases, little it has to become flex that one.
Okay, sir.
If it is rigid, it will blast easily. Understood? Like a tire. Now, if you take a vehicle tire is as well, what's it?
Elastic.
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 Right. Comment about the blood pressure in veins.
It does not have that much blood pressure.
Relatively low blood pressure. Relatively what? The blood pressure.
Low pressure.
Low blood pressure. Okay.
Yes, sir. Completed.
Okay, yes.
Completed.
sir.
Coming
Yes, sir.
to the next one. Comment about the wall features of veins. One thing.
Walls of veins have the same layers as the arteries.
Vein wall is less elastic.
Okay, wall is thick or thin.
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 Wall less elastic.
Less elastic.
Wall is thin, wall is less elastic.
Okay, sir.
Have everyone completed it? Up to 20 questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good, good. How arteries differ from veins? Last class I gave that one, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Arteries and veins. Okay? Sit at home and write it. No, I am not going to write it again. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sit at home and write it. What is the use of valves in the veins? In the veins, valves are there. Okay? Valves open towards heart and prevent the backflow of blood. Valves open towards heart, they will send the blood only towards heart. Blood cannot come back in the vein. Not allowed. That is done by the valves. Okay. Right.
Okay, sir.
Comment about the wall of capillary. Okay. Wall of
Consists
is,
layer.
okay. It consists of a single cell layer. It consists of, what is it? A single cell
A
layer.
single cell layer.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
What is the exchange that occurs in the capillary? Nutrients and gases diffuse, okay, diffuse from blood to the cells. Where they are diffusing?
From blood to cells.
From blood to cells.
To cells. In opposite, waste matter diffuses from the cells to, what is it? Blood. Waste is coming from cells to blood. Nutrient and gases are moving from
Blood to cells.
Blood to cells.
okay.
Done, sir.
Is there anyone still writing?
Yes, sir.
I don't think so.
No, sir.
Done, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Have you finished it?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Question with that one, that portion is over. Now we are introducing blood into how many divisions are there?
Division.
How many divisions are there? To how many divisions we are dividing blood?
Two divisions.
Two divisions.
Two divisions.
What are the two divisions?
Corpuscles and
Corpuscles
plasma.
In the total blood, 55% is taken by plasma and 45% is taken by
Corpuscles.
Corpuscles.
corpuscles. Mark that percentage value.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What are the corpuscles available? Corpuscles are, how many types of corpuscles are there?
3 times.
What are the 3 types of corpuscles?
Red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets.
Platelets.
Cell, we shortly mark it as RBC. White blood cell, we shortly mark it as
WBC.
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 Understood?
Yes, sir.
Mark it under each of them.
Sir, for plasma also.
No need, only those two have the short form.
Okay, sir.
Only those two have the short form.
Done, sir.
Wait.
Done, sir.
Show you a video. What are the components of blood?
Take a guess as to how much blood is in your body right now. Just like a ballpark guess. Think about all the blood in your heart, all the blood in your arteries, veins, and all the smaller blood vessels. Add up all those sources of blood and you get 5 whole liters. That's about this much. This glorious red stuff is so valuable to our physiology as humans that we're going to spend an entire episode introducing you to the cast of characters that make blood what it is. For instance, you've probably heard about the big players like red blood cells and white blood cells, but blood is a diverse and multifaceted substance that also holds clues to diseases that affect more than just your blood. I want you to think back to the last time you got a cut. The blood that oozed out of that cut was probably bright red, shiny, and dripped quite a bit more slowly than water. That may give you the impression that blood is a uniform fluid, but it's actually multiple substances, all with different purposes. You can tell because if you look at a vial of blood and let it sit around for a few hours, or if you spun it in a centrifuge, you'd notice 3 distinct layers emerge as the denser components of blood sank to the bottom. The creamy colored and lightest layer on top is the plasma, which is mostly water. But just like a mug of hot cocoa, it's what you dissolve in the water that makes it interesting. Yes, I made my cocoa with water growing up. All you kids who made your hot cocoa with milk, must be nice. Plasma is where you'll find the dissolved solids in your blood. Substances like proteins, sugars, hormones, and a ton of other things. The red, dense layer at the bottom is made of erythrocytes, also known as red blood cells, the most common type of cell found in your blood. We're talking around 250 million cells per drop of blood. That takes up about 40% of your blood by volume, which leaves this little layer in the middle here making up less than 1% of your blood volume. This is where you'll find your leukocytes, or white blood cells alongside platelet cells. And even though they only make up a tiny volume of blood, these cells still have a very important function that goes back to our immune system. Now, you'll notice that a lot of cell names we've been talking about so far end in cyte, which is no coincidence. Whether it's an erythrocyte or a leukocyte, cyte denotes a mature cell. And the prefixes here literally mean red and white, so basically we have these fancy words that translate back to red cell and white cell. Now, we do still have a handful of different leukocytes. There isn't just one single type of white blood cell. Like B and T cells, what are collectively called lymphocytes, are just 2 types of white blood cell. If you want to learn more about those cells, by the way, we'll dive into them and the immune response later in the playlist. Other white blood cells include a diverse group of immune cells called granulocytes, as well as monocytes, which become big chunky boy cells called macrophages. Collectively, white blood cells float around in circulation waiting for some kind of signal that recruits them to the scene of injury or infection. That signal might be a chemical like interleukin-1 that plays a part in fever, or histamine, which you're familiar with if you've ever sought allergy relief. Now, it might seem surprising that there are so many immune cells in your blood. After all, there's a whole separate immune system for this exact purpose, right? Well, if you want to constantly patrol the body to find something, traveling through the blood is actually a good strategy. Take the other component in that little sliver of blood, for example, platelets. These little cell fragments travel through the blood until they bump into an injured blood vessel. At that time, they start the process of making a blood clot. If this injury took place on your skin, this blood clot might be better known as a scab. Just like that one Blink-182 song, platelets wander around with no purpose or direction, and they don't know us a single explanation. So white blood cells help protect us, platelets clot our blood after an injury, but what do red blood cells do? These donut-shaped cells are squishy, bendable cells with one main purpose: ferry oxygen through the blood to the rest of the body. And these things are tiny, only 6 microns wide. That's a good thing too, because they need to fit through the tiniest blood vessels in the body without clogging them shut. Red blood cells can carry oxygen because they contain a protein called hemoglobin, made of iron, which is the heme part, and 4 globin proteins, hence globin. Oxygen molecules bind onto those hemoglobin proteins so they can hitch a ride through the bloodstream. All those iron molecules give red blood cells their color too. Just like how Mars has a bunch of iron on its surface and looks red, it's the same iron atoms coloring our blood. And these cells are totally optimized to carry oxygen or to be oxygenated. In mammals, red blood cells don't have a nucleus, which gives them more space for hemoglobin, and their donut shape gives them more surface area for oxygen to seep through. Plus, oxygen binds to this protein in a way that when one oxygen molecule binds to hemoglobin, it becomes easier for more oxygen molecules to hop on that same hemoglobin afterwards. And as those oxygenated red blood cells are pumping through your arteries, they'll drop off some oxygen at active tissues or anywhere in the body that oxygen is needed. Now, red and white blood cells are the major cells in our blood and can tell us a lot about our health. But that other stuff, all the substances dissolved in the plasma, can also give us valuable health data. If you go in for a checkup and your doctor orders a blood test, they'll probably measure things like cholesterol, triglycerides, midichlorians, the usual. There are definitely times when they'd want to measure red and white blood cell counts, but a lot of the substances you're used to hearing about are dissolved in plasma. And one of the ways to use that information is to predict your risk of disease. For example, a fasted blood sugar test is one of the things doctors might use to diagnose diabetes. This test is built on the idea that people with diabetes may have elevated levels of glucose in their blood compared to non-diabetics. But all kinds of blood tests can tell us different things about your health. Like measuring blood electrolytes can give us information about kidney disease, and counting the number of white blood cells can tell us the status of the immune system. But doctors' tests are getting sensitive and specific enough to find all kinds of really small compounds in the blood that can give them hints about diseases elsewhere in the body. And not just body parts directly in the circulatory system, but all over. These compounds are called biomarkers, literally biological markers. They can be used as clues for doctors to make better diagnoses.
This portion is too much for you, just have a look on it, that's all.
Diagnoses or to predict outcomes more accurately. Now, technically, response later in things.
So,
Look at a vial of blood and let it sit around for
here, it is divided, the blood is divided to 2 separate layers.
Yes, sir.
Upper one is plasma, bottom one is corpuscles. Understood?
a few hours or if you spun it.
Yes, sir.
But just like a mug of hot, look at a vial bright red, the blood that oozed out.
Okay. So, if we go for the blood cells or blood corpuscles, right?
Yes, sir.
What are the 3 corpuscles?
Red blood cells,
Red
white
blood
blood
cells,
cells,
platelets.
Right. Here, in the 3 types of blood corpuscles, the highestly occurring corpuscle is red blood cell. The lowestly occurring one is white blood cell. Middle one is taken by platelets. Right. So let's try to answer these questions. What are the two major components of blood? You have to say
Corpuscles
And
Plasma.
Corpuscles of blood.
cells, comma, plasma. Correct?
Yes, sir.
What is the percentage of blood plasma in the blood? What is the percentage I told you?
55%.
55.
55%.
55.
What is the percentage of corpuscles? Sorry, yeah, corpuscles.
45%.
45%.
45.
Corpuscles in the blood.
Red blood
Red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets.
Red blood cells.
White blood cells,
cell and platelets.
White blood
Platelets.
cells and platelets.
Platelets. Okay. What are the components in the blood plasma? Water,
Water, things
Water.
soluble in water,
Water,
things
things
insoluble in water.
things insoluble in water.
is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Complete it fast.
Done, sir.
Completed.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And thereafter, name the cell fragments in the blood.
Red
Out of the three, you see red blood cell. It is called a cell, correct?
Correct, sir.
Yes, sir.
sir.
White blood cell. It is also called a cell. Platelets are not cells, they are pieces of cells. So that's why we call it cell fragments. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. Name the cells in the blood mean cells are two. One it is red blood cell, other one is white blood cell. Platelets are not cells. They are pieces of cells, fragments of blood cells.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Right. Coming to the question number 8, 9, 10. Okay. What is the red color pigment present in the red blood cell? Even our blood is red color. Due to this, it is called hemoglobin. What is the name?
Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin. So, red blood cell is red in color. Red blood cell is red in color due to
Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin.
Sir.
Okay. Answer.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question number 9. What is the other name given for the red blood cell? It is not another name. Okay. It is another language. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, like
Yes, sir.
calling a person buffalo and Nihat. Like that. So red blood cell In Latin language, it is called erythrocytes. Erythro means red, cytes means cells. In their language. So what is the other name given for red blood cell?
Erythrocytes.
Erythrocytes.
Done,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Right.
Done,
Other
sir.
functions of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin does this work. Okay.
Red color.
Release oxygen from lungs.
Carries oxygen from lungs to it carries oxygen from lungs to the cells. This is the main function of whom?
Hemoglobin.
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 In addition to this function, another function also can be pointed. It gives
Blood.
color to blood. Blood is red in color because there is hemoglobin. There is hemoglobin staying inside the red blood cells. Staying inside the red blood
Red
cells.
blood
Red
cells.
blood cells.
Okay. Complete the two functions there.
Okay, sir.
Right. What are the functions of white blood cells? White blood cells do two functions. Number one, destroy pathogens. Any bacteria, virus, fungus that cause you disease are called pathogens. Second function it is producing antibodies. Okay, they are proteins. Who are proteins? Antibodies are proteins
Antibody.
that bind to pathogens and stop their action. What does antibodies do? What does antibodies do?
Bind to pathogens
Blind.
and stop their
Pathogen. When they join the pathogen, when they join the bacteria, when they join the virus, the bacteria or virus cannot do their function. They can't cause us the disease. In that side also it is giving us protection. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, for these lessons, you don't need separate short questions now.
Yes, sir.
These are Unit 1 and 2 short questions I gave you. 4, 5, 6 are going on this way.
answer.
Okay.
Done, sir.
What is the other name given to the white blood cell?
Leukocytes.
Leukocytes. That means white color cells. Leuco mean white, cytes mean cells.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Have you completed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are the types of blood cells in human blood? My children, unlike RBC, that is red blood cell, in the white blood cell, there are 5 categories. One, it is this. Can you read this one's name?
Neutrophil.
Neutrophil.
Neutrophils. Another one, it is this one.
Eosinophil.
Eosinophils.
Eosinophils.
It is this one.
Basophil.
Basophils.
So,
Another one, it is this one.
Lymphocyte.
Another one, it is this one.
Monocyte.
Altogether 5. 3 are finishing with the word. 2 are finishing with the word sites. Okay, that's all. Read it fast. Neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, lymphocytes, and monocytes. Okay,
Done, sir.
right. What is the function of platelets? Now, almost all of us have wounded our body in somewhere, in some place. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, when it starts, so soon we are wounded, blood will start to leak out from the body. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
When we are wounded,
Yes, sir.
a knife cut our finger. Okay, blood is starting to flow out. After 1 or 2 minutes, you can see bleeding automatically stops. Am I right?
yes, sir.
Yes,
That's
sir.
called clotting. It is taking place with the help of help in the clotting process of blood. Help in the clotting process of blood at the bleeding sites. At the bleeding sites, not in all the places, at the bleeding sites.
Okay, sir.
Right. Name the viral infection that cause rapid decline in the platelet percentage. One, it is dengue fever or dengue. Other one, it is leptospirosis. Leptospirosis. It is also called red fever.
Sir, what does it do?
It's a fever. Okay, rats are the carriers for that virus. Okay, there are people dying of red fever also.
Done, sir.
Right. What is the function of blood plasma? Okay, the main function it is, okay, transporting. The main function it is transporting substances that are dissolved in it. What is the main function? Transporting
substances that are dissolved in it.
coding.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Name the nutrients carried in the blood plasma. There are many nutrients carried in the what? Blood plasma. According to the syllabus book, they are mentioning it in this way. One they say digestive products, vitamins, minerals. How many nutrients are mentioned to you?
3.
Three. Digestive products, vitamins,
Mineral.
minerals.
Vitamins and minerals.
Okay.
Done, sir.
Fine. Have everyone finished it?
No, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Done, sir.
Right. What is the process that produces excretory products? Excretory products are made by the process called biochemical reactions. What is the name of the process that produces excretory products?
Biochemical
Biochemical reaction.
Reactions within the cells. Biochemical reactions within the cells.
Done, sir.
Okay.
Done.
Right. What is the function of blood plasma with respect to excretion? Carrying products from cells to excretory organ. Our main excretory organ, our human, if you consider, our main excretory organs are whom?
Kidneys.
Kidney. So blood plasma is carrying the waste material from the cells to the excretory organ. That means kidneys.
Done, sir.
Done? Completed?
Sir. No, sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
Done, sir.
No, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
So,
Okay. Completed? Right. Name the other components other than nutrients and excretory products carried in the blood. Hormones are carried in the blood. Proteins are carried in the blood. Enzymes are carried in the blood. Gases are carried in the blood plasma. All these ones are carried in the, what is it? Blood.
Blood plasma.
Dancer.
Hmm.
No, sir.
Hmm.
Done.
Done, sir.
Done.
Done, sir.
Okay. Now, actually, we have to start with which heading now? Blood
Blood transfusion.
Blood transfer.
Blood transfusion. Okay, it is taking blood from, okay, taking blood from one person's body and giving it to another person. Is there anyone among you who got a blood transfusion in your life?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No one there.
No, sir.
My second daughter got it once when she got dengue. She got dengue and pressure was lowered. At that time, she was given 500 milliliter blood.
Blood transfusion. Before beginning this procedure, always perform the following steps to ensure patient safety. Perform hand hygiene. Provide patient privacy. Introduce yourself. Use 2 patient identifiers. Verify allergy status. Perform environmental safety check. Ensure proper body mechanics. Gather all supplies. Provide patient education. Verify MD order. Assess for procedure need. And explain procedure. Educate patient about the rationale of procedure and associated adverse reactions. 500 cc.
Now, this is the thing. Here, what is this? Blood. We are going to insert this blood to a
Another person.
person who is in need of blood. In Sri Lanka, in so many places, we can see blood donation camps are going on. People are donating blood, collecting those bloods. They are helping the needy people who are in demand of those blood. That is blood transfusion. Understood? In the blood transfusion, then how many people involved?
Only one.
How many people? Major, how many people? 2 people involved. One person, the one who donates the blood. The one who donates the blood. He is called by the name, this name. What is the name given to that person?
No.
If you give,
No.
you are becoming a donor. Other side person who collects the blood is called recipient. Who are the 2 individuals involved here?
Donor
recipient.
and recipient.
The one who gives the blood is donor. The one who gives the blood is recipient. Point it is, any person's blood cannot be given to any person's blood. Understood? You can't do that way. You see here, in this blood packet, you are marked this letter. What is the letter mark?
O.
O.
Oh,
Indicating it's an O group blood. It is indicating which group?
O group.
O
O
group.
group.
O group blood.
And further, it is mentioned here. It is RH negative. It is RH.
Negative.
Negative.
Looking at those things, we have to pick the right person and give. If you give the wrong blood, the person who gets the blood will die. Understood? Because the blood going inside when they mix with our own blood, certain white blood cells in our blood, damage this blood. So if the groups are same, that damage will not occur. Understood?
Yes, sir.
If it is damaged,
Yes, sir.
the blood will turn to a paste-like material. Blood will turn to a curd-like material. When the curd-like material comes, it will go and block inside the capillaries. Then through the capillaries, blood cannot flow. In that case, the person will die.
Okay, sir. Understood.
So the point it is, we cannot donate anyone's blood to anyone. Understood?
Yes, sir.
We have to correctly choose. Okay, this is the blood group of this person, and this is the blood group of the donor. This is the blood group of the recipient. Are they matching? If we give this blood, will there be any problem to the patient, recipient? So if you can confirm no problem to the recipient, then you can give it. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If they are not compatible, you cannot give it. Okay, if you giving a wrong blood and is okay, not giving the blood is better than giving a what? Wrong blood. Okay, better than that one, you can try to save his life without giving the blood. Confirmly he will die. Recently, around 3 months ago, in Sri Lanka, in the news it came, a person died of wrong transfusion of the blood. Generally, those things don't happen, but it happened in our country. Sri Lanka is wonder of Asia. Okay, anything will happen. Right. So, from that place, inshallah, we will discuss the rest in the next class. The small portion they have to complete the unit number 6, and unit number 7 is going to start immediately after unit number 6. Okay, the point it is, before that one you will get the tubes and all things will be settled, right? And in the beginning I told you one thing, as the schools are going to continue, no chance of changing the class time. Understood? No chance of changing the class time. But what time to place the class time? I have other classes also. If I change the time, then it should be matching with all the children. Right? So that is not easy. Right? If anything you want, meet me, speak to me personally. Okay? Bye then.